had a chance to tell Erika earlier that it's not often that we get begged to come to events. And we have heard from people all over that wanted to be here, not because they want to be at an event, but because they want to show up and show their support for what you're doing and what you mean to this country, and we are so grateful. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to the Turning Point USA members from across our state who are joining us. Will you guys stand up? I know there's a handful behind me, but there are a lot of students here. We want to applaud you. Seeing the young people from every corner of our state in a job that can sometimes be a little discouraging, this is inspirational. To see so many young people who are leaders on their campuses give each one of us, and should give each one of us, hope for the future, because we know that it is bright with a generation of people who are willing to stand up, to speak out, and be so bold. So thank you for what you're doing. I know sometimes it's not easy. And I want to say thank you to the state leaders and legislators here in the crowd. We are lucky and blessed that we live in a state where we have unapologetic leadership that is willing to be bold and transformational. And so many of the great things that are happening in Arkansas are because we have a great partnership with people who are serving in elected office. So thank you for what you're doing as well. Earlier today, we were at Arkansas Christian Academy in Bryant for a pep rally, and it was peppy. I've already asked if I can bring that band and cheerleaders, a group of cheerleaders with me everywhere I go, but to celebrate their school's Club America chapter, which is what we're here today to celebrate, and something that is going to be so remarkable and really, I think, sweep and inspire students in every corner of our country. It's the exact type of civic engagement that we want to see at schools across our state. It's never too early to learn the values of faith and freedom that power our country. And I believe that these clubs are the perfect way for our young people to get involved in the civic process early. I had the privilege of knowing Erika's husband, Charlie Kirk, for over a decade before he was tragically lost to an assassin's bullet. Charlie wasn't just a great friend. He was one of the conservative movement's smartest, strongest, and most faithful leaders. His brutal murder was one of the most horrific things that I've ever seen, and a dark reminder that we live in a fallen world full of sin and evil. But there's good news, because Charlie was a believer, and I know that his faith, like mine, told him to never shy away in the face of evil. Our faith, in fact, tells us to put our trust in God and to confront evil head on. A single assassin's bullet did not silence the movement that Charlie built. In fact, it made his movement bigger and stronger than ever before. He changed young people's lives through the message that he shared. And now that message is being heard more and more, and that's a great thing for America. After Charlie's murder, there was an outpouring of support across our state and across our country. In many places in Arkansas, people created spontaneous memorials. And on the Benton County Courthouse steps, people placed flags and notes in Charlie's honor. Two women somehow thought it was acceptable to vandalize the memorial and tear down what their neighbors had placed there to honor Charlie's life. It was vile and it was shameful. But the important part of this story is not what those two women did. It's what happened after. 3 young men, high school students, Coda, Enzo, and Riley, passed by their memorial on scooters and saw that it had been vandalized and torn down. So they got off their scooters, they picked up the scattered flags and signs, and they put the memorial back together. These were not kids looking for attention. In fact, the only reason we even know it happened is because it was caught on a security camera. At a time when grown adults were saying the most vile things imaginable about a man who was murdered for showing his faith, these kids showed us that light is possible in a world full of darkness. Their simple act of kindness and humility shows us the impact that Charlie had, and we want to spread it to young people all across our state. That's why today I'm signing a proclamation formalizing my administration's support for Turning Point and their Club America program. This proclamation encourages every Arkansas high school and college to engage in civic discourse by starting a Club America or Turning Point USA chapter. It encourages all our high schools and our colleges to accept students' reasonable participation in clubs and political or religious speech. And if school administrators try to suppress students' freedom of speech, as we have seen in other states, let me assure you that conservatives have just as much of a right to speak their mind as anyone else in the country, and we will stand up for you. And while I'm incredibly excited to see this movement continue and to see each of you carrying it out, it's important to remember Charlie wasn't impactful because he was great. He was impactful because God is. And Charlie allowed him to use him and work through him. And each of us have that opportunity. God gifted Charlie with a brilliant mind and an unbelievable ability to communicate. God gives each one of us different gifts. There will never be another person quite like Charlie, but we can take the lessons that he taught us and allow God to use us just as Charlie did and carry on his amazing legacy. These clubs allow each person to find their place and a way to be involved. Not everybody is going to host big events and speak in front of large crowds like Charlie did, but we can all do something to carry his legacy forward. And there's no one who has done or understands that better than our next speaker. I know I speak for many of the wives and moms when I say that I cannot imagine the anguish, the pain, and the difficulty that Erika has felt over the past 6 months. So many of us would have been so broken and so lost in our grief from what she has had to endure. But instead, with her head held high and her message as clear as ever, Erika has carried Charlie's legacy across our great country. Even before the tragic events of 6 months ago, Erika was a powerhouse in her own right. She helped build Turning Point USA alongside her husband, and is today the group's chairwoman and CEO. Erika, we could not be more proud, more honored, or more grateful for the work that you are doing. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to my good friend, Erika Kirk.
Thank you so much. And Governor, thank you. You've always been such a phenomenal supporter of ours and of Charlie's, and I'm just tremendously grateful because just like you and other governors who have been bold enough to stand alongside us to make sure that Charlie's dream of having a Club America on every single high school campus come to fruition and come to life. And I'm unbelievably grateful for your bravery and for your conviction to make that happen. I'm so grateful, and I know that each and every one of the students here and across the country is grateful as well, so thank you. I'm grateful for that. This is also really important for the students, and so I want to talk to you guys first and foremost. You guys are the heartbeat of this organization. Don't get it twisted any other way. And this is just as much your legacy as it is mine and my husband's. And I want to encourage you, like I just said to the students earlier today, the greatest investment you have is your time. And we don't take that lightly. We're going to Club America when you're investing, but we also want you to invest time and our resources and our assets into you. This is way bigger than politics, way bigger than politics. We live in the greatest country in the world, the greatest country in the world. It's not perfect, excuse me, it's not perfect. Our country's not perfect, no country is perfect, no person is perfect, but it is the greatest. And I want to encourage you guys that when you join a Club America chapter, when you join a Turning Point USA chapter on college campus, you are a part of a huge network, a family. And if you're a chapter leader or you're a part of a chapter and you are a believer in Christ and you are getting persecuted for your faith and your values, someone comes up and flips your table, someone throws all of your resources on the ground, count it all joy. You are being persecuted because you believe in Jesus Christ. Count it all joy. And I am so proud of each and every one of you. I am. It is not easy to do this. It is not. But it is worth it. And all of you back here, I am so proud of you. So proud of you because you know what? When you start in high school and you really embrace the fact that you live in this country and you know you can make a difference like my husband did and continues to do, you realize that your life, even though it's short, it is whether you live 31 years or 92, it's short. But use it for something greater. Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there, strong men who are convicted, that will be good leaders, good husbands, good fathers like mine. We need that. And young women, we need you to also rise up. Don't compromise yourself. Don't look at other women and compare yourself. God has created you for a purpose and a reason far greater than you and I will ever know on this side of heaven. But just know that as long as you're a part of Turning Point USA, you have us by your side, and we will be there for you every step of the way. And just like this governor and many others that are out there, we got your back always. And we are honored and thrilled and just so grateful to God that you guys are a part of this family. So God bless you guys, God bless you, and thank you all for being here today. It means the world to me.
Thank you, Governor Sanders. Thank you, Erika. I think I can speak for everyone here and say, we love you both. Cheers. My name's Andrew Seifer, and I'm the Chief Field Officer for Turning Point USA. I am humbled and honored to oversee all of our student programming at Turning Point USA. I had the privilege since 2016 to build this program with Charlie from the ground up. Back when we were nobodies, back when I was trying to keep my job and plead with students to come into a room to hear from this young man that had something that would change their lives forever, to who he became, a worldwide phenomenon that inspired and turned everyone to a greater cause, and that is the Lord Almighty. I want to thank the governor. Today is symbolic, not just for the state of Arkansas, but I know this day would have meant a lot to Charlie himself. He loved your governor. He spoke of her years ago when she was new, fresh onto the scene. He had such respect for her because he knew she always stood what was for the right. He knew that. And that's why she had and he had respect of each other. What is Club America? Club America is a future leaders club. Charlie's greatest goal was to lead people to Christ, but in doing so, to have students by the thousands, tens of thousands, by the millions stand up and be leaders in their circles and in their communities. He could not do this by himself. The movement that we saw here at Turning Point USA was started by that man, but will be carried forward because of the students like these behind us. Turning Point USA is simple. We stand for free speech. We stand for the founding of this country. And we believe in dialogue, civil dialogue, and empowerment of young leaders to rise up and carry that forward. This time last year, Charlie called me. He said, Andrew, we need to grow faster. We need to reach the younger generation because the enemy is working fast. At a younger and younger age, our students, and I see so many here, are being influenced by peers and by outside influences that do not have their best. He said, what is it gonna take for us to grow Club America and put one on every high school in America? I said, well, Charlie, that's gonna take a lot of work. We're only at 1,200 right now. He said, great, I wanna be on 35,000 high schools. And I said, Charlie, there's not even 35,000 high schools in America. And he said, well, tell me how many there are. And I said, well, there's 27,000. He said, great, we'll be on 25,000. I'll give you a 2,000 school delta. And I was like, oh, this man, he keeps making my job harder and harder. How are we gonna do this? But Charlie loved doing the unthinkable. That's why he inspired so many. That's why he inspired so many students here and all of us that are here. Because he said, tell me what I cannot do and I will show you that I can. He knew what his mission was on this earth. I'm proud to say, a year later, less than a year later, Club America is now on 3,300 high schools in America. That is nearly 13% of all high schools in America have a Club America presence. What does that mean? 13% of America has young leaders that are now influencing their peers to say it's okay to love America. It is okay to be patriotic. It is okay to be a believer. That is what is happening in America right now. And not just in America, it's happening in this state. This state, we went from having a presence on 4% of all Arkansas high schools last year to nearly 16% today. Today's partnership with the state of Arkansas will enable more students to be emboldened, to have the courage to stand up and say, I will start a group. I will speak loudly and proudly of my beliefs because I'm not ashamed. With the governor's backing in the state of Arkansas, we will see this grow from 15% of high schools to our goal, and as Charlie's goal, every high school in the state of Arkansas. But it's not gonna be because of us. It's not gonna be the governor or myself. It's gonna be the students that make that happen. And I am privileged and excited to bring our next guest speaker up because this student symbolizes and represents the beauty of this program. Jacob Noss from Fayetteville High School, the week that Charlie was assassinated, like tens of thousands of other students in this country and the world, immediately said, enough of this evil. And he went to his school and said, I want to start a Club America chapter that very week that Charlie was assassinated. And would you believe it? His school opposed him. They put up blockades. They brought in their lawyer to say what stipulations he had to work through to make that a reality. Here in this very state. But he didn't give up because Jacob Noss, like tens of thousands of other leaders in this country and in this world, young leaders, said, not today. I will persist. I will make this happen because that is what I'm destined to do. I'm honored to bring Jacob Noss up here because he represents the very best of our high school leaders here in Arkansas.
Good afternoon, Governor Sanders, Mrs. Kirk, and fellow students and distinguished guests. My name is Lucas Klaus. I'm a junior at Fayetteville High School, and I'm the proud president of our chapter of Club America. As the second of 5 children, I grew up taking verbal and sometimes physical beatings from my siblings in debates around the dinner table or in the backyard. These early battles taught me the importance of being resilient and standing firm in my beliefs while truly hearing others out. From a young age, I learned through open, respectful dialogue, exploring complex history, opposing viewpoints, and growing by engaging with ideas that challenge my own. Sadly, I've watched our society, and especially our schools, become far less tolerant of genuine discussion. What was once healthy debate has shifted towards self-censorship. Many now fear speaking openly about religion, politics, history, or even what defines us as human beings. In classrooms, topics like climate change or DEI are taught not as ideas to explore, but as unquestionable doctrines. Too many approaches now teach what to think, not how to think. This loss of open exchange has serious consequences. Suppressed ideas don't disappear, they fester, breed division, and lead societies toward frustration and destruction. America has always been exceptional because we engaged in free, open dialogue, allowing us to wrestle with tough questions and reach better solutions together, even when we disagree. We're losing that strength, and if we don't reclaim the ability to talk respectfully, the future is uncertain. That's exactly why I started my chapter of Club America. Inspired by leaders who engage others with respect, strong facts, and a foundation in faith, like Charlie. I wanted to create a space where students can openly learn why America is exceptional, a nation rooted in God-given rights, individual liberty, opportunity for all, and self-government. Principles that inspire the world and defend freedom. Club America gives young people the tools and community to build pride in our country and discuss ideas freely. Starting the chapter was not easy. Our club received extra approval requirements written out by the school. We faced opposition from teachers and students. They organized online and at school, trying to cancel the club, tearing down our posters, disrupting meetings, pressuring people to quit. Adults in the community amplified this position online. Ultimately, the police needed to become involved for my safety. As the president, I had serious worries for my team amid the hostility. Through all this, what I'm proud of is the passion of our leadership team, which stayed together through it all, showing how important these topics really are to us. We responded with kindness, openness, steady persistence, and refusal to back down. Our sponsors guided us with unwavering support. We've seen real impact. Some of those who were most opposed have come to us, they've spoken to us, they've understood that we're willing to understand multiple perspectives and that we just want to talk to them. Others have approached us privately and said that they've seen through this that the side claiming tolerance can be the least accepting of different ideas. I see hope, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. This Friday, we're excited to welcome 3 veterans to our meeting. They embody true patriotism, and their sacrifices for our freedom deserve our deep gratitude. And I want to thank my leadership team for their strength and commitment, my sponsors for their steadfast support. Thank you, Governor Sanders, for championing this movement to bring Club America to high schools across Arkansas. And thank you, Erika, for carrying forward this vision that inspires so many of us. Thank you. Club America is vital for educating students on our nation's true greatness, fostering pride in America, and providing a space for conservative ideas and values rooted in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. while always promoting open, respectful dialogue. So to every conservative high schooler in Arkansas, I'd encourage you to go join your school's chapter of Club America. And if you don't have one yet, start one. Thank you, and God bless Arkansas and the United States of America.
Now I think it's the moment that everybody came for. I'm kidding. This is Peter, but I'm just signing.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here on THV 11+. You've been watching live coverage of an announcement today at the Arkansas Governor's Mansion with Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, joined by Erika Kirk, CEO of the Turning Point USA organization, announcing that the state and the governor would make a proclamation to support and encourage the ability to launch Turning Point USA chapters and Club America chapters at every high school in the state. Speakers up there during the announcement mentioned that right now they have somewhere around 15% of high schools in Arkansas participating in the conservative political and faith-based organizations, and the efforts to try and grow those numbers coming from the leaders we heard from today. Governor Sanders led it off, voicing that formal support. She didn't say what beyond the proclamation would entail, whether the encouragement would be anything other than symbolic, whether it be any kind of government action. That would likely run into some sort of problems with First Amendment rights and that sort of thing. But she did talk about supporting any of the clubs as they grow and spread throughout the state, and pledging that they would support them in every way she can. And that was echoed by Erika Kirk when she spoke more briefly about having the backs of the students who started these chapters. She recalled the efforts to overcome the persecution, as she called it, for different members of the movement as the organization has grown before and in the wake of her husband Charlie Kirk's death last September. We heard from a field officer who read off some of those numbers of how the organization is trying to grow and what their goals are. Again, nothing beyond just their evangelism to try and grow those numbers, nothing specific about plans to make it happen. And we also heard from a student who said he was a chapter leader up in Fayetteville, Arkansas, who faced resistance as he tried to start a chapter at his high school late last year. We've got complete coverage of the news conference and the announcements that you just heard, as well as the responses from Democrats and the protests going on just outside that mansion as we speak. All of this we're going to wrap up into a nice little bow, have for our coverage as we go throughout the afternoon, beginning with the THV 11 News at 4, both on air and on your streaming devices here on THV 11+.